Yes, we had been asked what it means that now Iran is obviously a nuclear power. What do you believe is the situation for the future with a nuclear power? Is this, for example, a new big danger?
Entschuldigen Sie bitte, ich glaube, die Frage also abgeklärt. Die Frage wird nicht beantwortet, wie Herr Barbey gesagt hat. Oder wie läuft es?
Ich habe gerade eine Frage. Ja. Ich habe gerade eine Frage zugelassen, die Menschenrechte natürlich im Nahen Osten, das elementare Recht auf Menschenrechte ist das Recht auf Leben. No, das kennen Sie. Ja, wir führen jetzt darüber keine Debatte. Ich möchte diese Frage beantworten lassen von Frau Mina Ahadi und seiner königlichen Hoheit. Jeder kann natürlich sagen, ich antworte darauf nicht.
Ja, dann wenn er also nicht antworten will,
I don't know what has happened, but anyway. to answer the question, look, first of all, Iran has yet to produce a single megawatt of electricity through nuclear power. So whether we call it nuclear power yet is, I think, more projection than fact. However, the legitimate question is, why is there a concern about a regime that has been non-transparent in its nuclear program? Because I suppose any common sense will tell anyone that if you have nothing to hide, then why don't you show everything you're doing? Transparency is the first order of building trust rather than mistrust. Let me in fact emphasize on this word, I'm not using it casually. Why do you think that to this day, most attempts to negotiate the issue has failed diplomatically? Was it because the positions were so far apart? In fact, they were not. But it's because at the end of the day, you simply cannot trust this regime. And as such, whatever it says cannot be reliable. Aren't the same countries who are today willing to establish even more economic sanctions, perhaps even go to war against my country over the nuclear issue, the same countries that were competing with one another to sell us the very same technology? What has changed? And therefore, could we trust a regime that has been sponsors of terrorism, that have treated their own citizens in the way we know, and that has been totally untransparent in terms of its nuclear ambition, and what this will mean to Iran in terms of our democratic ideals, and to the world in terms of stability and security? I think the answer is obvious. So, I never thought that the issue is whether or not Iran has the sovereign right to technology. Of course it does. Didn't Iran sign the NPT in the 70s, as a result of which we had 10% shares in the company of Eurobif in order to be provided with our nuclear fuel cells for the reactor in Bushehr, which was supposed to come online back in 1982, 28 years ago. I think that was clear. And in the future, a democratic Iran, and democracies usually don't go to war against one another. Democracies are committed to peace, not war. A democratic Iran will be the same. A democratic Iran will be transparent. It will have a government that will be accountable, where you can trust, that you can verify, that you can enter true agreement with and have reliable contract with, that will observe international rules and international law, that will not use an argument in its favor when it suits them and hide behind a very same regulation that they later do not respect when it doesn't suit them. This will be the main difference. This is the way to look at Iran's future. And since we are on the nuclear subject, let me also say a final point. I don't believe that the central issue to Iranians today is nuclear, the nuclear issue. The central issue to Iranians today is lack of democracy and human rights. We hope the world catches up to what Iranians today believe. We need not an American president telling us on a no-lose message whether or not we have that right. We want to see if the free world is willing to back us up on our demands for freedom. Let us resolve the rest by our own sense of responsibility and accountability. And we will also resolve the nuclear issue for Iran. Whether we choose as a nation to pursue that technology for energy needs is a totally future issue that has to go back to our experts, our scientists, and make the right decision for ourselves. That I cannot speculate, nor is it my place to give you that answer. But the principles, I think, should be quite understood and clear. And I hope I have answered that question.